Every day, there's a battle for your mind raging. Information coming from every angle with the will to deceive. Fear not. You found the place for truth. The voice of a generation that still has the will to believe in the greatest country in the history of the world. This is the Charlie Kirk Show. Buckle up. Here we go.
All right, welcome to the Charlie Kirk Show. Andrew Colvett here. I'm a little bit remote today, but I am joined, of course, by Blake Neff, our not-so-secret weapon, and Mikey McCoy in the studio, holding it down. Hello, gentlemen. Welcome, welcome.
How we doing?
Howdy, Andrew.
How we doing? Hey, Mikey, it's good to see you again, man.
Yeah, thank you, guys. It's nice to be back. I know a lot's happened since I've been gone. And so I'll just say what happened in Utah was the worst day of my life and following the worst 7 weeks of my life, of our life, Blake and Andrew. And it's still really traumatic and difficult to talk about. I haven't really been able to. And so I just wanted to thank you and Blake. I wanted to thank you guys.
Of course, man.
Thank you.
Well, you're doing great, Mikey. Blake, you're doing great. Everybody's doing great. I want to say that our team is doing heroically, actually. When you see what we accomplished this week in Ole Miss in Oxford, Mississippi. And then, by the way, guys, we had our first, the kickoff of our high school tour, which is our Club America tour. We had over 500 students come out for that in Nevada. I'm just really proud of the team. We're doing heroic work, and this has been honestly a tremendous, tremendous week that it just shows the spirit that Charlie implanted into so many of the people that run Turning Point and that are still a part of Turning Point. And we're going from strength to strength in so many ways. So, you know, Mikey, from us to you, you're doing a phenomenal job, genuinely.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So, Blake, why don't you kick things off and just set the table on this filibuster discussion that's happening right now? So last night, Trump sent a shot across the bow.
Yes, so we'll get into that. First, very quickly, I do want to flog something because Charlie would be angry at us if we didn't. Mm-hmm. There are elections next Tuesday in New Jersey and in Virginia. They are tough races. They are races, to be honest, we are unlikely to win, but we are going to try to win them. We talked with Cliff Maloney the other day. He said there were about, I think, 80,000 unreturned Republican mail ballots in New Jersey. So if you're one of those people in New Jersey who has one of those ballots and hasn't returned it, shut off this show, fill it out, and turn it in right now. In Virginia, the last day to early vote is tomorrow. So if you're in Virginia and you're allowed to early vote and you haven't yet, shut off this show, go to your county courthouse or wherever you're allowed to early vote and do it now. Thank you very much. We're going to flog that next Monday, and we'll be broadcasting the election results on Tuesday. All right. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Well, hey,
now,
I just want to throw this up, Blake. Throw the 329. This is the recent polling. We got Sherrill is up by 1 point, according to the latest polls. This is from Emerson College, and Jack Ciattarelli. So it's 49-48. We got about 3% undecided, but remember, there's two little pieces of information I want you guys to hold deep in your hearts as you go out there and you seize the momentum. Independents are backing Ciattarelli by +9. And here's another one. If you are asked, who do you support, they'll say it one way. But when voters are asked who do they think their neighbors are voting for, guess what? Ciattarelli's up by 6, which is a very interesting way to poll this because sometimes people will say, oh, of course, I'm going Democrat to a pollster. But when they ask who do you think your friends, your families, and your coworkers, your neighbors are voting for, to see Ciattarelli up 6 is a very, very promising sign. So keep the faith in New Jersey.
all right. So anyway, the filibuster thing. So this just came up over last night and this morning. It's flaring up. It's coming thanks to President Trump. We have the ongoing government shutdown. It's still going, and we're possibly hitting a crisis point tomorrow because SNAP benefits are set to expire. Lots of stuff to be said about that. But President Trump's response, so last night on Truth Social, he said this. He had a pretty long post. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he was saying Democrats have gone off the deep end. They have Trump derangement syndrome. They have trillions of dollars, blah, 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 blah. And then he says, it is time for Republicans to play their Trump card, all caps, and go for what is called the nuclear option. Get rid of the filibuster and get rid of it now. Never have the Democrats fought so hard to do something because they knew the tremendous strength that terminating the filibuster would give them. They want to substantially expand PAC, the U.S. Supreme Court, make Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico states. Goes on and on. It's actually quite the long thing. And then he doubled down on that. This morning, he made a post that said, because of the fact the Democrats have gone stone cold crazy, the choice is clear. Initiate the nuclear option, get rid of the filibuster, and make America great again. Now, I would guess the Senate is probably unlikely to go for that, but Trump has a lot of power to pressure people. And I think it's an interesting debate. We were talking about this, should it be gone for? And my impulse, and what I would tell Charlie when we would discuss this, is if you're going to get rid of the filibuster, you've got to do it basically as a day one thing. They should have done it the day Trump took office, because you need to maximize what you get out of it. And then you go in, because there's all these things we want to do that we can't do because you need 60 votes to do it. Change our immigration laws, change environmental laws so it's easier to build things in America. Change our budgeting process, do maybe entitlement reforms, all these numbers of things you'd want to do. And it would be a huge misfire, I think, if we were to get rid of the filibuster, get rid of the 60 vote barrier, and all we get out of it is we end a shutdown and we resume SNAP benefits. And then if Democrats take office after 2028, God forbid, but it's a possibility, then they come in and they're getting that day one, no filibuster thing where they get to run wild. And I think that would be my concern, and probably Charlie's concern if he was here to talk about it with us. How about you guys?
Well, I feel a little bit conflicted, because I think the one main thing that would be worth ending the filibuster for is immigration reform. Either an immigration moratorium or at least a dramatic reduction and a replacing of our current model with something that was more merit-based and more interested in what does America get out of it? I think immigration is the first, second, and third, and fourth, and fifth most important issue in our country. I think it's all about the future of America. So if you're going to do it, you got to have the guts to do that. I don't think it's worth blowing up the filibuster to, just turn SNAP benefits back on or get the government going. I mean, I think we are in a winning position when it comes to the government shutdown. We, as the Republican Party, have tried to open the government multiple times. The Democrats have blocked it time and again. They have even tried to pass a clean bill to turn SNAP benefits back on for people. So this is the newest, flashpoint are these SNAP benefits. But here's the deal. If we do this, there will come a time, and we've just got to be perfectly honest about it, where they will make Puerto Rico a state, and that's 2 more Democrat senators. They will probably try and make Washington, D.C. a state. That's 2 more senators on top of that. So you could be staring down the barrel of a situation where if you take this away, then we might not ever have a majority in the U.S. Senate again. I mean, we could. Now, J.D. Vance said at our Turning Point event at Ole Miss, we shouldn't be afraid to do stuff just because we know that the Democrat Party is going to do it. Well, this is one instance that at least in the previous iteration, we had Kyrsten Sinema and we had Joe Manchin that blocked the nuclear option from being on the table for the Democrats, and that probably saved the Republic. So I feel very, very conflicted. Obviously, it's tempting to do. Anytime a party's in power, it's tempting to do. But I think we have to be very, very cautious about doing this. And we've seen that Mike Johnson has come out against blowing up the filibuster. So I don't know if you have final thoughts there, Blake, before we hit the break, but it's a hornet's nest. That's for sure.
It's you always just anytime there's a lot of things Republicans have wanted to do, and anytime you're going to do something politically, you have to think, what will happen next? You always want to think the medium-term consequences of what you will do. And this is one of the biggest ones of all where you have to think that out. So be careful what you wish for, is what we would say.
Yep. All right, I'm going to tell you guys about Patriot Mobile. You got to support the guys at Patriot Mobile. Glenn and the team in Texas, they're phenomenal patriots. They support this show. They support Turning Point USA. They support all kinds of conservative activism and grassroots mobilization. They are amazing people. They stand up for 2A, for pro-life, all the things. So if you still have not made the switch, which at this point it's getting a little bit, I'm gonna have to ask for some excuses if you haven't, because we've told you about this. You will get exceptional nationwide coverage on one of the 3 major networks, or you can have 2 networks on one phone with the dual SIM, which is what I do. Stay connected with flexible, unlimited data plans to fit your lifestyle. High-speed data, mobile hotspots, international roaming, all the things you want right now you can get with Patriot Mobile. So go to patriotmobile.com/Charlie, patriotmobile.com/Charlie, or call 972-PATRIOT to get a free month of service with promo code Charlie. We'll be right back.